one word, I say amazing. You say one word, I say amazing.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome. It's been a while. I know. I did a poll. What was it? 4 days ago. And I asked a question. That question was, what type of content do you guys prefer? I got 51 votes. All right. 4% said relevant news. Another 4% said mud flood. 10% said flat earth. 40% or 42% said millennial reign. And 40% said all. So, thank you to whoever voted. Appreciate you participating in that poll. That says a lot. I mean, I rarely even get 50 likes, you know? So, 50 votes or 51 votes, that's good. That shows that you guys want something. That something being content on the millennial reign of Christ. So, I'm going to give it to you. All right? Today's topic is on the rest of the dead. Right? Obviously. You remember those Cabbage Patch kids right here? Remember that? I mean, if you're in your mid-30s or early 40s, then you should probably know about these things, right? I do. They creeped the heck out of me when I was a kid. I never liked them, never will. But these things right here, I believe they came out in the mid-80s. They got very popular in the early 90s, mid-90s. Very popular. But I guess the 1800s are a lot more interesting than we thought. Right? And the reason why I'm talking to you guys about these Cabbage Patch kids is because mine Unveiled did a video a couple hours ago. Well, he did one 4 days ago, I think it was. And it was on the Cabbage Patch kids and the repopulating of people. Very interesting. But I will say this, although he did a great job, he always does, he very briefly talked about the millennial reign, you know, and the reset. He doesn't really dabble into that. And I get why. I mean, the dude has over 100,000 subscribers. And if you have that many subscribers, you're going to be, for the most part, you're going to be not gravitating, that's not a word. You're going to be swayed more towards the narrative because you want to keep getting paid, right? So it's like, the question is, do you want to get paid or do you want to tell the truth and not get paid? That's the question, right? So, although I get a little revenue every month, you know, it's a little tiny revenue. It's not much at all, but it's something. It helps. They will catch on to me. The more and more subscribers I get, this is why I mentioned in one of my earlier videos, I do not want to get more than, 50K, 50,000 subscribers. And if that happens, then I'm going to have to figure out a way to branch over to, those other platforms. Yeah, for now, I like it the way it is, Anyways, these Cabbage Patch kids, what about them? Well, we are going to be watching a slide that Mine Unveiled did. I won't be playing the audio because I don't want him to copyright me. The videos that he shows in his slides, you can't do nothing much about that because it's not his footage, so it's footage that anybody can find online. I just took it because it's a lot easier to just put that together, because it's already there. So we all know about the millennial reign. Most of you who are subscribed to me know that the millennial reign of Christ passed. Okay? And the question remains. That question being the rest of the dead. Where did they go? Where did they come from? How did they appear? Okay? And I'm not going to spoil my answer for you. I'll play the video. And then further down, I'll let you know my thoughts on what I feel where the reset people came from. Or in other words, the orphans. So let's get started here. There's a woman here named Alice Guy. Not sure how to pronounce that. I'm hearing it's pronounced Guy, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's pronounced Guy. Perhaps it's a guy. I don't know. There's a lot of things that I don't know these days, so you can't blame me, Don't know what a guy and a girl is these days, man. It's pretty sad. But, yeah, she goes by the name of Alex Guy, born in the 1800s. And she is said to be a movie producer. She makes movies, okay? In simple terms, she makes movies. All right. And she came out with this movie, and it is said to be the very first movie of all time. I mean, at least that's what I'm hearing. So correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But this woman here, Alice Guy, is said to have produced this movie. And quick disclaimer, I want to let you guys know, fair warning. If you do not like things like this, I mean, there's nothing graphic, but the video is quite disturbing. And you'll know why in a second. But when I saw it, I seriously wanted to throw a chair at this woman because what she was doing, that's not good, These are newborn babies. And nobody does that to newborn babies. Come on, they're pure, and they're innocent, man. So, I mean, she's not doing anything crazy, but the way she's handling them is like they're some type of Hollywood prop. But it's not. It's a real baby. Multiple. And another thing I want to let you know is the video is silent. These are the days of the silent films. There was no audio. In some films, they would have subtitles, but for the most part, you're not going to get any sound. And you wonder why. I can imagine these babies must have been crying. So, check it out. The Cabbage Patch Fairy, 1895. So she's surrounded by cabbages, right? Grabs one baby, puts the baby down. Not much care at all. Grabs a second child. Puts that one down with hardly any care. And there's like no blanket, nothing, no cushion. Just propping the baby down like it's a Hollywood prop. So sad. Good evening, Peggy. Good to have you with us. Now you notice how, like I said, there was no audio. Okay? She's pulling these babies out of cabbage patches. I'm not sure if these are real cabbage patches. It could just be props or whatever. But why cabbages, right? Why cabbages? Let's continue the video. So Alice Guy, it is said that this film was released in 1896. But what I'm hearing is that this footage here that I just showed you was actually released in 1895, a year before they made a second one. So keep in mind, they made a second film just like this one. But in the second one, for some reason, they used dolls. So my connection is acting up right now. So I hope it's not. One second. Are we good? Oh man, that's not good. That is not good. See, this is what I said. Every time I go live, this has been happening to me. Every single time I go live, this has been happening. Wow. That is not good. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. This never used to happen. Yeah, the connection is bad. Let me try and do something real quick. One second. Please bear with me. This is not good. Hopefully this works. Hopefully this connection is stable. So I just lowered the bitrate to 7,000. Hopefully that does the trick. Let me see. Yeah, see on YouTube it says the stream health is excellent. But then on OBS, okay, I think we should be stable now. I think we should be stable now. Hopefully. Let me go to the comments real quick. And you know what? During this time, let me go ahead and put the comments in the video. I totally forgot to do that. Like I said, it's been a while. So, 1 second. So sorry about that, guys. I apologize. Seriously. Okay. Let me put the chat in here. There it is. Hopefully you guys can see the chat. So that's Dante Berry says, this is what we've all been waiting for. Yeah. I'm sure you guys have. I have been too, to be honest. Let's see. Peggy says, good evening. Dante says the video is freezing. Let me know if it's freezing now. Let me know if the video is playing better. If it's stable. Were those newborns? Yes, those were. Unfortunately, those were newborn babies. Colorado Elite says, my mom was an orphan. Oh, wow. I'm so sorry to hear that, brother. So, please let me know if the video is stable. Yeah, guys. So, yeah, this woman here goes by the name of Alice Guy. She is a movie producer. And she's the one that basically directed this movie. And you know what? I'm not sure if she is the actual one who produced these movies, because she could just be a face. There could be the elite behind this, you know? So, yeah, it is said that this film was released in 1895. But like I said, and they're cutting me out again. They're cutting me out again. Why? This is what I mean. Every time I go live, this happens, and it can't be my connection. It's impossible, because my router is literally just right outside, and every time I stream the internet, I never have any problems. When I upload stuff, I never have any problems. But every time I go live lately, you see, they're cutting it out again. Every time I go live, this happens. This happens, guys. So I'm going to have to figure something out, because I know it's not my connection. I know that for sure. I feel like they're shadow banning me. But yeah, I'm just going to try and get through this, and then I'll rewatch it. And if it's unwatchable because of the cutouts, I'll just make the video. I'll record the video, and I'll just upload it all at once. But yeah, let's continue the video. So yeah, this woman here, she was one of the first filmmakers to make a narrative fiction film. The first woman to direct a film. And like I said, guys, I don't know if she is the one behind these films, because they always do that. You know, they always put a face on it, and they put a face on it. But yeah, it says the first woman to direct the film. From 1896 to 1906, she was probably the one female filmmaker in the world. It's called Solac Studios in Flushing, New York. The film A Fool and His Money, probably the first to have an all African American cast. Interesting, right? Why an all African American cast? What in the world was going on? That is strange. Definitely needs to be looked more into. And here's a few slides. You guys are going to be surprised at how many postcards there are with these Cabbage Patch babies. And remember now, these are real babies. All right? See, it says here, instead of a perfect human being, the evil in Frankenstein's mind creates a monster. Yes, that is so sad. So see, like I said, this was the times of the silent films. It says here, many films of the silent era have been lost. The Library of Congress estimates 75% of all silent films are lost forever. About 10,919 American silent films were produced, but only 2,749 of them still exist in some complete form, either as an original American 35mm version, a foreign release, or as a lower quality copy. Folks, that is crazy. That is loads and loads of information we are missing. Just think about that. Only 2,749 of them still exist out of 10,919. That's crazy. And it's obvious. They're definitely hiding the rest of the films from us for a reason. Perhaps they are waiting for the right time to push this onto us or make it available. Because I don't think they destroyed it. I think they have it somewhere in their archives, and they're waiting for a time to push this agenda. I mean, look what's happening right now these days. They're trying to figure out a way to make babies without, the traditional way. It's crazy. Let's go to some comments real quick. This is the most dangerous info on the net today. Yes, it is. And that's probably why they are shadow banning my channel, and they are constantly cutting things out on my live stream, as you guys seen earlier. Yes, golden age passed. Also, I wanted to say, Colorado Elite, with Mind Unveiled, you can tell when he talks about this information, he's suppressing the rest because he knows he can't say it. So he's spoon feeding everyone all this little teaspoon information because he knows he can't say the rest of it. However, I on the other hand, I don't care. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say what I believe is true, what I discern, and that's that. Yes, the golden age passed. Hey, what's up, Chad Jones? Good to have you with us. What about the Cabbage Patch Kids' oldest movie? Yeah, I just played that. I agree about mine. Yes. Yeah. But I appreciate Mind Unveiled for doing what he does, because he could be doing anything else. But he decides to give a little bit of truth so that the people can go do the rest, But that's what I'm here for. I'm going to call it like it is. Only God can knit a baby in the womb. Exactly. And more on that point further down in the stream. Let's continue the video. Hopefully I don't get cut out. But yeah, guys, only 2,700 films. That's ridiculous, man. Out of 10,919. It says here, during most of the 20th century, the U.S. copyright law required at least one copy of every American film to be deposited at the Library of Congress. Why? Why? It's common sense, right? Man, at the time of the copyright registration, but the Librarian of Congress was not required to retain those copies. So, information, bro, information. The largest cause of silent film loss was intentional destruction. See, so, like I said, they say they destroyed it. They say they got rid of it. But I'm not too sure about that. I'm not too sure if it's destroyed. There's a great possibility that this information and the rest of those films are somewhere. It's laying somewhere. Untold Story of Alice. So this is a video you guys could watch on YouTube. Be Natural. The Untold Story of Alice Guy Blake. It says here, why isn't Alice mentioned in the Lost Films Wiki? Exactly. I know, right? I think people think you're making it up. There's so much suppressed information, guys. It's not even funny. See, 1895. This is when it actually came out. It wasn't 1896. It was 1895. And the one that they came out with, 1896, they used dolls. But it's weird because when you watch the second one, it shows that they use dolls, but at the same time, they're using real life babies still. All right? And I don't know where they get the idea of, Cabbage Patch. Why the cabbage? We'll look into that more. So stay tuned. Countless films, guys. Countless films. Solax. And you got to think about this. If you watch these films, if you look at it with a good eye, Don't just look at it for face value, but look at the film and just look at how actually good the quality is. The quality is pretty good. And for that time, it's like, were they trying to dumb down society on purpose? Were they trying to dumb everything down? It wouldn't be hard for me to believe if they had high definition footage in those times, considering what we know already and the piles and piles of information that we don't know. So, she's a creepy lady, by the way, Alice Guy. Something strange about her. Here's another film, Metropolis. That's another one you guys want to look into. It came out in 1927. It says here the original premiere cut of Metropolis has been lost, and for decades the film could be seen only in heavily truncated edits that lacked nearly a quarter of the original length. You see, so what the heck is the purpose of watching it then, if it's only a quarter of the length? But over the years, various elements of footages have been rediscovered. So look into this one, and it's called Metropolis. Last time I heard where Metropolis comes from, I swear that's what show is that? Metropolis is from, is it Superman? Yeah, it's Superman, because Gotham City is Batman. So Metropolis is, I swear it's Superman. Correct me if I'm wrong. See, here's the other one, 1896. And just be aware, if they cut me off, I have a strong feeling they might cut me off. So if they decide to terminate my stream, just know that Tala is gonna be right back on. So I don't care if they terminate me, I'm gonna just hop right back on. So, and if they do it again, I'm gonna just end up making a video, recording it, and putting it on. I do have a lot of backup stuff, so it's just FYI. See? This is the other version that I was talking about, guys. The 1896 version of The Fairy of the Cabbages is the lost film directed by Alice Guy. According to her featured honeymoon couple, a farmer, pictures of babies glued to cardboard, and one live baby. The 1900 La Fille aux Chocs and the 1902 Sage Famille de Première Classe, originally titled La Fille aux Chocs, are frequently confused with the original lost film, which is arguably the world's first narrative film. The first film directed by a woman. Like I said, that's what they say. Don't always believe what they say, because she could just be a face. This is still my favorite photograph of Alice. Okay, so that's just a photo. These are just different photos of her. The 1896 version of The Fairy of the Cabbages is a lost film. Okay. They're frequently confused with the original lost film. See, like I told you guys, there's an original one, and there's a second one that they made. The original was made in 1895. The second one is that they did, or they redid, was 1896. And they use dolls. There's more images. How children are born. A bountiful fairy is producing living babies, which she finds growing in a garden on huge cabbages. And keep in mind, guys, like I said earlier, this stuff was pushed aggressively. It was pushed rapidly during these times. The amount of postcards depicting these cabbage babies and this woman is ridiculous. It's ridiculous, man. It's overwhelming. So they were definitely trying to push some kind of agenda And it's all around the reset time. Right here it says, there has been 100 years of controversy over LaFox Oxshocks starting in 1922. So see, there was a lot of controversy. When Etienne Onrad wrote in his memoirs that Alice Guy was the first to have the idea of staging a dramatic scene in front of the cinematographic lens. Cinematographic lens. He wrote that the film was Les Mafites du Uni. I'm not going to even try and say that. Creating more controversy and confusion. Leon Gamout cemented the confusion when he reportedly said in 1935 that he himself directed the first film that was trying to tell the story. Crazy stuff. To the audience in front of the painted canvas that naively represented the Rue, his feminine star. Misadventures, here's the films. 1901, 1903, 1896. Yep, look at this. A calf's head escapes from the butcher's plate only to hang back. At this point, it appears that the animal-headed man cooks a human head. Creepy stuff. And this is on Wikipedia. Mont Film Company. So while that's playing, I'm going to go to the comments real quick. That's, what does that say? That's crazy. Really makes me wonder what all they've done to us over the last couple resets. No telling how many we've been though, right? Have you ever heard of the woman that made the invention called the chronoscope? It would show pictures of the past. No, I haven't. Please share that. Email that to me if you can. What's up with the feed? It stopped. Yeah, they keep doing that to me. Yeah, the stream stopped. It looks like. Yeah. Okay, feed live chat part stop. It's still working. Do you have a way to leave our emails in case they shut you down so we know we can find you? Yes, I do. I'm going to share my email in the description box below. So, you know what? Let me share that right now. So this is my email, guys. If you want to send me any information, feel free. Cabbage Patch Kids, grown in the garden, grown in the sun. Each one grows to be a special one. Yeah, you see this part right here? They're like trying to depict with the machine, and it's like pumping out babies. I highly doubt that though, man. There's no way they could do this. You have to have a man and a woman. You have to have the seed of a man and the woman to hold the baby. So see, in this depiction, you've got a giant woman surrounded by cabbages and babies. And then you have these customers, if you will, coming here to pick up a baby or a few babies. So it's like they're shopping for babies. And keep in mind, guys, that was real. During the 1800s, this was real. There were so many orphans orphan babies, and people would go there and pick up a baby. It's crazy, man. Definitely has something to do with the reset. It definitely does. I can't see it any other way. See that? You got all those babies. I'm not sure what these two... I think these guys are catching the babies. These two people here. Very strange time. Very strange time. Modern kangaroo. So see, here's another postcard, guys. Look at the way she's carrying her babies. She's got two little pouches like a kangaroo. Perhaps this was a brand for these times. For the people who came to pick up babies, they were probably advertising these things to hold the babies. To make it convenient, I guess. Yeah, this is the part where it shows so much more. Like I said, it's overwhelming. These are all postcards, guys. Unless they had cloning abilities back then. That's what I'm saying. It's hard for me to believe that, because I know the scriptures talks about man and woman, but right now it is said that they are doing things like that. It says that they have this machine where all they need is the seed of a man and a way to hold the baby as a woman would. So yeah. Human traffic madness. Yes. Creepy indeed. JP says Cabbage Patch Kids, a interesting topic. Yeah, and it has a lot to do with the reset. I just searched Chronoscope, and the first video to pop up with a woman in the thumbnail, isn't it? Yeah. I missed the 1800s. It is so much harder to buy a child nowadays. Yeah, like I said, there's so many postcards and depictions of these children. Think higher tech was pre-1800s? Yes, I agree. I agree that technology was far greater than today in those times. And we'll get more into that further on in this video. Look at these. These are real babies, guys. These are real babies. They're stuffing them in these stupid cabbage things. And that baby was crying. There's so much more, guys. There is so much more. Sorry I'm late, and it's also interesting. Thank you for this info, for sure. I think there was some pretty awesome tech during the millennial reign. I agree. I strongly agree. And I know for sure this has to do with the cabal. All these things have a lot to do with the cabal and what they do with babies. You know, child sacrifices. It's just not good. There's another real baby in a Cabbage Patch. Another one. And this is what makes me feel like what JP just said. Like, could it be real? You know, could this actually be the case? Did they figure out a way to, you know, you get a man's seed and then you have a womb to hold the baby, which is his cabbage. I mean, it sounds crazy. It does. But then then again, I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if this is indeed what was happening. And it was more obvious than we think. But like I said, discern. You have to discern and research and yeah, it definitely is. The faces. The creepy music in the background of Mind Unveiled about this subject. Yeah, the music that I wonder if he produces his own music, his own background music. The one that's playing right now is one that I produced. Incubator babies, orphan trains, yes. Definitely. Look at this. More depictions of these postcards. It looks like this couple is going out to the Cabbage Patch to shop for a baby. It's crazy, man. The Alien movies had some really big Cabbage Patch fields. I like the piano, bro. Oh, thanks. Appreciate that. I've grown up in East Texas, and as a child, my grandparents told me they found me under a cabbage leaf in the garden. Then when I was about 5 years old, Cabbage Patch Kids were made. No way. Seriously, bro? You're not joking? Incubator is high tech and undeveloped for 40 years. I'm serious. I think it's just saying the elders the South say, but it must be left over from something real. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. You should share that story, man. I would love to hear that story if you would like record it or something. Stork bringing babies, so weird. I'm 62. My mom and dad said they got us from the Cabbage Patch. There had to be something about it. Wow, this is crazy. I hope you guys aren't joking with me. But yeah, like I said, it's overwhelming, man. Look at all these postcards and these images. Seinfeld says his grandfather and great-grandfather was an incubator baby. No joke. Wow. Makes me wonder where your grandparents got the idea from. Exactly. Yeah, I'm curious about that, Chad. Yes. Always truth mixed in with everything. Fairy tale. Exactly. They love doing that. They love making it seem like it's, it's a fairy tale. It's just fiction. When really, it's actually true. There used to be trees that grew lambs. What? Like I said, folks, history is stranger than fiction. Truth is stranger than fiction. Again. And they say that these children, so the boys, keep in mind, it is said that the boys came from cabbages, and then the women come from roses. So, I really hate how they just put these babies here on the floor. That's weird how it shows a child. That doesn't look like a woman. It doesn't look like a woman at all. It looks like a child coming to pick up a female baby. Must be something to it. Total propagandized and fed to us like this. Yes. Definitely serious. My parents said we come from the milkman. Our dad was a milkman. Haha, just had to tell that. Lambs for limbs. This Cabbage Patch stuff reminds me of the harvesting fields in the movie The Matrix. Oh, good catch. Yeah, it does. That does look like The Matrix. All those pods that they were in. Yeah. And after watching this, I was like, dang, I ate quite a lot of cabbage growing up. I hope it's not something that, that's not good for us. Look at that, the train. And then you got the cabbage. Speaking of lambs, is that a lamb or a dog? They had a song. Creepy stuff in these times, I'll tell you. And it looks like these guys just picked up their baby. And like I said, the ones that come from the cabbage are male babies. And the ones that come from the roses are females. Roses are red, but cabbages are not blue. Or are they? My grandmother just passed away last August. Sorry to hear that, bro. Now I don't know who to ask where they got the story. I know how you feel. Vegetable lamb of Tartary. Latin, Agnes, and I don't know how to pronounce that. Or Planta Tatartica. Boromets is a legendary zoophyte of Central Asia, once believed to grow sheep as its fruit. Looks like old Balenciaga commercial pictures, right? Balenciaga, speaking of Balenciaga, there's some horrible stories behind that brand. Looks like the Cabbage Patch meme was a part of the popular culture back then. That is where they all got those cabbage sayings. Good night, friends. God bless. Good night, Peggy. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, Armor. Must look into that. Thank you for the further explanation. Night, Peggy. Like I said, folks, there's a lot. There is a lot. Like I said, you got children coming to pick up a baby too. It's weird. See, here again. You got children coming here. This one is strange. Halloween. Good luck for Halloween. That's strange. They're depicting these children as if they're adults. You got chickens in there. That's another thing I heard about chickens. Not to go off topic, but someone asked me in the comments, are chickens even animals? So I thought that was kind of interesting. Why did they ask that? This one is kind of interesting too. You got like an angel and then these babies falling out of the sky. Like I said, guys, it's overwhelming. There's so much of them. And since we just got into an hour, let me go to the part where I wanted to point out to you guys. What is this? Leon Gummer cemented of the confusion. 1935, that he himself directed the first film that was trying to tell a story to the audience in front of a painted canvas. Okay, this is the same slide. So I think this is the other version, excuse me. Might be the other version of the one with the dolls. Okay, so those are real babies. Yeah, you see these films? You got this film here with the I forgot what that star is called, but you got this robot, and pay attention to how good the quality is. For that time, that was pretty good. Got all this water. So it looks like the people were starving. So you got a futuristic city. Very strange. And here's the second one they did with the dolls. But then they still have real life babies in this one too. I don't know why they put the dolls in this one. Maybe they were running out of babies. Not too sure. But this is the one is said to be produced a year after the original one, 1895, and then this one came out in 1896. Brother, the Chronoscope video is going to blow your mind. So I just type in Chronoscope and it'll be the first video. Pre-internet Wayfair. People used to say they found a baby in the Cabbage Patch. Like they say the stork brought the baby. Wonder if there's anything behind that saying too. Interesting. I was thinking about that too. She just flops the poor baby down on the ground. Exactly. Inverted pentagram. There you go, that's what it is. So see, they're dealing with dolls here. But watch when they go into the building, and that's when you're gonna see the real life babies. Right here. So see, that's a real life baby. And she's just propping it down. And there's going to be quite a few babies in this scene. Quite a few babies. Crazy thing is, if you think about it, before they said action, how long were these babies just chilling on the ground? Right? Like, how long were these babies just chilling on the ground? That. And it's not one baby, it's not two babies, it's not three, it's more. You can tell that baby's screaming its head off. That baby's crying. It is so sad, man. And I think it's disgusting. There are people out there, believe it or not, there are people out there who hate babies. Who who think babies are disgusting, you know? And people like that confuse the crap out of me because they were once a baby. So, like, what the heck, man? It's one thing to feel that way towards a baby, and I think that is sick and evil. You got something coming, man. But at the same time, you were once a baby too. So, what, you hate yourself? Look at how many babies there are, man. They're all moving around, probably cold. I mean, newborn babies are supposed to be a specific temperature. So sad. So you guys can read this if you can. If not, I'll read it out loud. It says there are only two or three films before 1900 in the Gaumont catalog that have a subtitle. So this is about the subtitles. If you want to read it, you can go ahead and pause it. Yeah, just look for the chronoscope, and it was the top result. It had a woman. It was around 15 minutes long. Thank you. I will watch that. What channel is the chronoscope on yours? I left the link in the chat, but I don't know if you can use it. It's on YouTube. So much to reconsider. Exactly. This is weird, but too good of a quality for that time. Yeah. It's like they dumbed it down for a reason. Pause this if you guys want to read this. I'm not sure what he was trying to make out right here. It's hard to see. It's 40 feet long. Indicates it was painted for a larger format film. Okay. Different formats for different reasons. Purposes. Portions from the 1896 backdrop appear in both the 1900. Okay. Chronoscope has connection with Project Looking Glass. Interesting. Strange hats on the people picking the babies. Yeah. Very strange. Check out this scene. Sort of religious. And this was part of the silent films. Yeah, those are strange hats, man. Countless films. Over 10,000. Over 10,000 films. And only a little over 2,000 is said to be available to us. And they're not even full versions. They're just little snippets of them. Thank you so much, Lil Tanji. Appreciate that donation, brother. No worries, bro. I know it's holiday season, so there's gonna be people who are busy, so appreciate you. Better late than never. R.L. Stein. This is another thing, guys. R.L. Stein. You guys remember these things? The Garbage Pail Kids? And keep in mind, this is very disturbing stuff, man. It's way more disturbing than, fun. Look at that. Junkie Jeff. Thrills and Chills. Peepin' Tom. Seriously? That is sick. Very disturbing. Junk Food John. Bad Breath Seth. Dirty Harry. Right, and they depict this child as a pig. Look at this, a reptilian child. What do you know? Orange Julius, Uzi Susie, Brainy Ben, Mitch Mitt. He's mopping the floor with a... That's so disturbing. This is supposed to be a child. And keep in mind, guys, these cards were for children. I remember these. They were in the 90s. And this guy, this janitor, is mopping the floor with a child's head. And you can look at it, man, Tala, you're just you're just thinking too much about it, man. It's just a card. Really? That's a sick art. That's sick. Look at this one. Running over a child. See, they make it seem as if, it's just art. It's just a piece of card. But what it really is showing is a car running over a child. And the bubble gum here are the guts and blood. And there's so many of them, guys. There's a whole bunch. Umbilical Corey, Bernie Burns, Ratsucker Randall. Yeah. It's crazy, guys. So yeah. Why the cabbage? Let's look at it. I'm going to read this with a fresh eye. So what does it say here? Cabbage, compromising several cultivars of Brassica or Oleracea is a leafy green, red, purple, or white, pale green, biennial plant grown as an annual vegetable crop for its dense-leaved heads. It is descended from the wild cabbage and belongs to an old cole crop of brassicas, meaning it is closely related to broccoli and cauliflower. Really? Brussels sprouts and Savoy cabbage. The cabbage generally weighs between 500 to 100 to 1,000 grams. Smooth-leaved, firm-headed green cabbages are the most common, with smooth-leaved purple cabbages and crinkle-leaved Savoy cabbages of both colors being rarer. Under conditions of the long sunny days, such as those found at high northern latitudes in summer, cabbages can grow quite large. As of 2012, the heaviest cabbage was 62.71 kilograms. That's pretty darn huge. That registers to 100, or that translates to 138 pounds, guys, in 4 ounces. Cabbage heads are generally picked during the first year of the plant's life cycle, but plants intended for seed are allowed to grow second year and must be kept separate from other cole crops to prevent cross pollination. Cabbage is prone to several nutrient deficiencies. Micronutrient deficiencies or dietary deficiency is not enough of one of or more of the micronutrients required for optimal plant or animal health. In humans and other animals, they include both vitamin deficiencies and mineral deficiencies, whereas in plant the term refers to. So it says that cabbage is prone to several nutrient deficiencies, as well as to multiple pests and bacterial and fungal diseases. Cabbage was most likely domesticated somewhere in Europe in any ancient history before 1000 BC. Cabbage in the cuisine has been documented since antiquity. It was described as a table luxury in the Roman Empire. So it is said that it was a table luxury, guys, during the Roman Empire. That's what they say. By the Middle Ages, cabbage had become a prominent part of European cuisine. So it was very prominent during the Middle Ages, guys. That's what they say. As indicated by manuscript illuminations, new varieties were introduced from the Renaissance on mostly by Germanic-speaking peoples. Savoy cabbage was developed in the 16th century. By the 17th and 18th centuries, cabbage was popularized as staple food in Central, Northern, and Eastern Europe. It was also employed by European sailors to prevent scurvy during long ship voyages at the sea. Starting in the early modern era, cabbage was exported to the Americas, Asia, and around the world. They can be prepared many different ways for eating. They can be pickled, fermented for dishes such as sauerkraut, steamed, stewed, roasted, sautéed, braised, or eaten raw. Raw cabbage is rich source of vitamin K, vitamin C, and dietary fiber. World production of cabbage and other brassicas in 2020 was 71 million tons, led by China for 48% of total. That was a pretty long read, guys. Vitamin K. Okay, raw cabbage is rich source of vitamin K. And it says vitamin C here too. Funny enough, when my daughter was born, this year of 2022, she was born on the 26th of October. And as soon as she was born, the doctor came up to us, and this is the first time, guys. This is the very first time the doctor has approached us about this vitamin K. Okay? What is vitamin K? Vitamin K refers to structurally similar fat-soluble vitamins found in foods and marketed as dietary supplements. The human body requires vitamin K for post-synthesis modification of certain proteins that are required for blood coagulation or for controlling binding of calcium in the bones. If you want to read more on vitamin K, feel free to search it. Here's the thing, guys. Like I said, this is the very first time a doctor has approached us on this vitamin K thing. I have 4 kids. Okay? I've got 4 kids, and not one of them, needed vitamin K. Not one of them did the doctor come up to us and say, "Oh, yeah, so just to let you know, we want to give your child vitamin K because every time a child is born this early, we need to give them vitamin K because, they need it." Well, in the Bible, it says it takes about 8 days, okay? It takes about 8 days for everything to settle in, for everything to start working well. And funny enough, after 8 days, my daughter was fine. She was perfectly fine. So, I'm not too sure about this vitamin K thing and why they were trying to push it. But another thing I wanted to point out was how they had to mention, just describing cabbage, we're just talking about cabbage. If you think about cabbage, you're just thinking about, a stew or whatever. But they just had to talk about the Middle Ages. By the Middle Ages, cabbage had become prominent part of European cuisine. They went pretty darn in depth with cabbage, if you ask me. They even mentioned how it could weigh up to 138 pounds. So like I said, guys, come on. It's hard to say that these babies didn't come from the cabbages. They're just trying to push the agenda. And maybe they are, but it wouldn't be hard for me to believe if that indeed what was happening. Where did these babies come from? Honestly, I think it's quite obvious. After all the research that I've done so far, these babies, man, they definitely have to do with the reset. The rest of the people, one second. Hopefully I'm back online. They're trying to cut me off again. But I wanted to ask you guys, when it says in the passage, what verse is that in the Bible? I believe it's Revelation 25. But the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection. My question to you guys is, how did they come back again? And what were they? Did they come back just as they were? Or did they come back as children? Did they come back as newborn babies? I don't know 100%, but I thought that it would be very interesting to ask you guys. Everyone be safe on the highways, just saying. Yes, be safe wherever you go. I still have an album of first and second edition Garbage Pail Kid stickers from my youth. I don't know why I like them. Honestly, looking at them now, they are gross. Yeah, they are. Bro, I remember seeing those things, and to be honest with you, it didn't bother me. Just like you said, it didn't look creepy to you. But for me, back in the days, it didn't look creepy too. But the reason being is the fact that it was normal, right? Like, it was meant for kids. So I thought, okay, so my friends at school have it. It's just like a Pokemon card, It's just like a baseball card. It's nothing big. it's a pretty cool thing. So whatever they whatever's trending, especially if you're a kid, you're gonna think that it's just normal, because those are the times where you're like a sponge and you're just taking in all this information, and for the most part you think it's good. And it's sad, I know, it's children, and for the most part when you're a child you just want what's good and you don't really judge many things. There's no proper discernment, This is trauma-based mind control technique. Yes. That totally makes sense, because I don't know why I like them so much, but I would throw tantrums to get them when I was 4 or 5 years old. That's crazy, bro. Yeah, I've seen that a lot. The enemy doesn't play fair. I think they just redid them last year, like a best of edition or something, but I saw them on the shelves again within the last 3 years for sure. Wow. I just watched the exact same content come out about the fairy lady and the cabbage babies on Mine Unveiled a few hours ago. Weird. Awesome. He's covering that video now. Just watched a 45-minute video on Cabbage Patch Kids. It is the first film produced or something like that. Yes. That's why I had to jump on it real quick. That's what he's talking about now, y'all. Yes. The video from Mine Unveiled. Yep, at Chad Jones. Clotting agents. Wonder how they knew it had clotting agents. Man, they had so much we don't know about. Yes, indeed. Yeah, we're barely, like I always say, we are barely scratching the surface, man. Yeah. Maybe it takes a couple days to get used to the physical world. And cabbage is everywhere in the South, and look at the difference in sizes of men. New York has businessmen, Texas has cowboys. Maybe not a good comparison, but you say what I mean. Awesome. Wow, never thought of that verse in Revelation. Yeah, that's one of the most popular verses that, us millennial reigners, truth seekers, talk about, because it's mind-boggling. It's, if you know the millennial reign past, then you would know that, somewhere along the line after that, the rest of the people basically reappeared. But like I said, my question is, what do you guys think? Do you think they reappeared as children or just as they were? Because we do see a bunch of babies. We got that evidence. It's a whole bunch of babies. Whole bunch of orphans. 1,000. So yeah, guys. We just made 1 hour and 30 minutes. So I think I'm going to call it right there. I will be doing more videos. I will be doing more live streams on this stuff. Thank you guys who participated in the poll that I did 4 days ago, I believe. Appreciate you guys, because it helps me produce content that you guys would want to see. So I appreciate you guys all for being here. But as always, you guys be safe out there. Be blessed. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you want more future content from Kingdom Within. Be safe out there, guys. I mean it. Be blessed. Until next time.
You say one word, I say amazing. You say one word, I say amazing.